Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Ferrari themed birthday cake. I'm starting out with my go-to chocolate cake recipe. The recipe for that and for everything else that I'm using today is on my website, which is bakingandbooks.net. I will have it linked in the description below. So this bottom tier is an 8-inch chocolate cake, and don't mind the disaster you're going to see right there, see it? With me frosting this. I don't typically frost with a bag on the sides of the cake. Sometimes I do, but every time I do it, it's a disaster, just like it is right here. Thankfully, this is in fast motion, so you can't really see how much of a mess I made, but it all turns out in the end, so that's all that matters, right? And the top tier is white cake, and it is 6 inches. So 8-inch bottom, 6-inch top, and all of the layers are filled with a typical chocolate ganache frosting, and I will also have that on my website. So here I'm just placing dowels in my bottom tier, and I'm putting them all around like in a circle form of where my top tier will go on top, just so it doesn't sink in. And then I'll put the top tier on. I can touch that, by the way. It's just buttercream, but I put it in the freezer for about 10 minutes to harden it up so that I can move it around a little bit easier. And here I'm just making little squares for my checkerboard pattern, like the checkerboard flag at a racetrack. And I'm going to attach that using a paintbrush and water. There goes my dad. Yeah, he just doesn't pay attention when I'm filming, and I didn't catch him walking in the middle of it, so there's that. Sorry about that. But I will paint water on the back of these just to, fondant will stick to buttercream, but this just gives it a little extra security for them not to sag, and I will just continue doing that all around the cake till I get the perfect checkerboard pattern. Take some Everclear or vodka, whatever you have. I typically have Everclear hanging around because it's what I use for my silver and gold luster dusts, but I will take that and paint on a very thin layer, and it'll make it nice and shiny and pretty. And here I'm just going to use my Pico projector and an edible marker, and I'm going to project the Ferrari image onto a piece of fondant, trace it, and then fill it in with the marker. This can be kind of a daunting task, especially if you are wrapping your fondant around the cake, then you can't let it dry, and it's a little hard to write on soft fondant, but I did it. Go me. going to use my Pico projector again, and I'm going to trace out the Ferrari horse onto a piece of fondant. This was a little bit even harder than the first one, just because it had so much more little tiny details to go around, but it came out really well. And then once again, I attached both of these logos with some water on the back. It can be kind of tricky to not touch the painting or the marker on it, but just making sure I get that positioned the way I want it and that it's stuck so that it doesn't move around. And then I'm going to poorly put in these dowels that I did not cut the right length at all, but that's okay, we can fix our problems. And I'm going to put some dowels in the top because I'm going to put a Ferrari car on top that was extremely heavy, and so I didn't want it to sink down into the cake, so I put some more dowels to give it some support. And that's the final product. Don't forget that all my social media and my website are linked down below, so go ahead and go check those out, and thanks for watching!